It is a major step in their lives, and it is a very important step in their lives. And we want to make sure that when they go to high school, they feel comfortable and confident in the school that they have chosen. School pride is very important in high school now. And we want them to have the best experience they can possibly receive and graduate from high school and go on to college. That's our ultimate goal. Or, as my son is doing, he is a senior this year. He's going to fill one of the 70,000 spots over the road truck drivers when he graduates. And he is going to go to school to get his commercial driver's license. There are a lot of sign-on bonuses, so there are plenty of things for the kids to do when they graduate from high school. And parents want to be an integral part of this major decision as your students move into this field. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Sally Hauser, who is our school counsel for right here. And she will give you more information, and we'll start to give you information and answer questions about high school choices. So.
Well, welcome guys. We're so excited to have those of you that are here in person, and I know we have a few online. And special thanks to Mr. Graham Spencer over here, who is my tech guy. This night would not have come together without him, so very much appreciated. So we're excited here at the beginning of our presentation to have several of our NMCS high schools share a little bit with you guys about what they have to offer. So we will start with our known high school, which is Hunter Plain High School, with Ms. Alejandra Morales.
Thank you. It's been a minute since I've talked to everybody. So, again, my name is Ms. Morales, or my first name is Alejandra, and I'm the freshman counselor at Hunter Plain High School. I do have a few pieces of paper with just some information about our academies, and then I also have a pamphlet with all of the sports coaches. It tells you what seasons is offered, whether it's fall or spring, and the coach's email address if that's something that you want to go ahead and get a head start on. Okay, so you can see me after this, and I can give you one of those. We have plenty of copies. So first and foremost about the academies, Hunter's Lane is probably about like 1,400 students, and we have several different academies that we offer. First and the best is the Freshman Academy. I usually focus on the freshman counselor, and that is any first-time freshman. Then we have the Academy of Design and Technology, so that's going to be things like digital art and design, maybe you're learning more about software applications, things like that. Also, we have an Academy of Health and Human Services, so if you're interested in anything in the medical field, or if you want to be in a helping profession, such as a teacher, a counselor, or a social worker. We also have the IB Academy. That's going to be a little bit more of a rigorous program, which we can talk more individually about that. That is something housed in the Health and Human Services and IB program. And then our last academy we have is Hospitality, Marketing, and Business. So if you're interested in working in the travel industry, or maybe you want to own your own business, it doesn't matter necessarily what it is, or if you're interested in working in advertising, that would be an academy that you look at. So every first-time freshman is in the freshman academy, and then after that you get to choose the academy that you're in from grades 10, 11, and 12 up until you graduate. We start that process second semester of your 9th grade year. So what I'm starting actually tomorrow with the current freshmen is what I'm talking to you about right now. We do career interest surveys, they do different activities in a class called Freshman Seminar, which is kind of like a high school 101 class. And throughout the year, they're learning about the academies. And then they get to choose their top 3. And we will put that in the system. Another thing to note, just kind of like a typical freshman schedule, you're going to have, like I said, freshman seminar, every freshman takes that. English 1, we do have standard and honors English, so if you're in honors English right now, and that's something you want to continue on, that's something we can discuss. Another thing also, if you are interested and, or excuse me, if you are taking a class for high school credit, so that could be like Spanish 1 or maybe an algebra class, then we get that information at the end of the year so that you can be placed correctly into the next math class for the ninth grade in August. So that is about the typical freshman schedule. The last few things I want to mention, like I said, we do have information on, is that a little better? Oh, okay, so like I said, I do have the pamphlet about sports, and then also if you guys want a tour of the school, you all would need to talk with Mr. Hansen. I have his email on a piece of paper here. That's ethan.hansen@nnps.org. Okay, so you can email him, get in contact with him about setting up the tour. I think there's anything else. I think that's it, but yeah, thank you all for being here, whether you're here in person or virtually. That is all I have right now, and like I said, please come and see me afterwards if you ask questions, or you can send me an email, whatever is easier for you, and if I can help you, I will find someone who will. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. And just like she said, we'll have a little bit of time at the end for question and answer for everybody, and we'll also have time to talk individually with our various high schools that are set up. So next we have from Early College High School, which is one of our optional school choices, we have Ms. Sherry Holmes Norman, who is the school counselor.
Thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm Ms. Norman, and I'm the Early College High School. This is a very interesting way to do this. I'm nervous. I talk all the time, so I guess I'll be through it, right? I don't know where I'm looking at. I'm just going to So, Early College High School is 9 through 12. Our executive principal is Roger Manuel, and our assistant principal is Nicole Healy. Our vision at NNPS, Early College, is that we would be a premier option high school and a model for dual enrollment schools throughout the nation. Our mission is that it is to accelerate student success in college, career, and life by providing an opportunity to earn an associate's degree. We are housed at Nashville State Community College. Our campus is on the college. And because of our specialty, which is dual enrollment, so what is dual enrollment? Dual enrollment is that our students, as a freshman, sophomore, will be taking the traditional classes that this one still called freshman, sophomore progression. They are metro students taking metro typical English, math, science, social studies, etc. By the time they're the second semester sophomore, depending on their conditions, sometimes we let sophomores take college classes. The second semester of their sophomore year, but normally they start their junior year. Junior and senior students take strictly college courses. Yes, they're still our students. Yes, they have to check in with us every day. We've got to learn, teach them a lot of college language and computers and things like that. We have a very strong advisory team that goes alongside our students. But they take college courses. We have 6 associate pathways that the students can choose from. Computer science, mechanical engineering, health science, business administration.
Oh, you do? Okay.
General studies and music. These are usually up to 61 credit hours of courses that they consume in 2 years, including summer. So what we find that is positive toward our campus is that we're very small. I mean, like our campus would fit in this room, our classes this way on one hall, the same on the other hall, and then we're joined by central hall. That's where our freshmen and sophomore students have their classes together. And then, like I said, our juniors and seniors are on campus. But what we love about our campus is we've got 13 staff people. 4 of us are leadership, and the rest are teachers. And they build a relationship every day. The classrooms are small. You might have 6 or 7 kids in the classroom. Right now we have 200 students. And everybody knows everybody. You know, there are people have a little bit of movement throughout our space. We have cafeteria, they take classrooms, they go outside for lunch. They have a little bit of freedom, typical from high school campuses, but you still got to roll them in. Because sometimes when they come on a college campus, it's got and they can do what they want. But overall, we love it. It's small, and that's what a lot of parents like right now, because it's a small community. And the other part, the last thing I want to say is, even though we're small, and our athletics and everything like that, and football, we have to partner with Fieldwood. Okay, so that type of thing is over there. But we have popcorn parties, and we have all kinds of activities to engage, because it's not a typical high school. So you have to do very creative things to keep students involved. And they do. So I'm sure it most
All right, thank you, Ms. Norman. I think maybe you'll have time at the end to speak more with her individually if you would like. So up next, we have from Big Picture High School, Mr. Gary Hook, who is one of their assistant principals.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I appreciate you spending your evening with us on this, I guess it's relatively warm out there today compared to what we've been dealing with. So as a couple of my colleagues have shared, we've heard from early college and from Hunter's Lane, it's important that you guys make an informed decision as you figure out what the best high school fit is for you and your family and your student. And so I'm thankful to the team, to Ms. Hauser, for having us out here this evening so that we can tell you about Nashville Big Picture High School. As I was setting up, I talked to a couple of families, they're like, we've never heard of this. And I hear that a lot. And so after today, you can't say that anymore. You'll say, oh, I've heard of that. Here's what I know. So let me give you some information about Nashville Big Picture High School. So first of all, we believe that everyone that walks in our building wants to be successful. But we know that in order to be successful, students, teachers, assistant principals, staff need to feel supported. And so I want to share with you 6 ways that we support students to success. So the first one is really we start with students. We meet them where they are, we figure out where they want to be, we put them at the center of the learning, we personalize that learning, and then we move from there. Secondly, is we engage families in our building, in our space, in our design. Families are required to come into the building 4 times a year. We'll talk more about what that looks like, but in short, you get to see your student present and share their learning. You also get to participate in parent meetings every quarter, so October, December, March, and May. And then beyond that, we'll have a advisor in our building that will act as your liaison. You'll have their cell phone number, they'll have yours. There's a real relationship there to help guide your student through 4 years of high school. The third piece I just mentioned, advisory. We'll talk more about what that looks like. In our school, it's really unique. We call it the heartbeat of our design. And then the last 3, internships, academics, and school culture. So I'll try to be as efficient as possible to move through these items. Okay, so I talked about putting the students at the center of the learning. How do we do that? First of all, we personalize the learning for the student. Every student has a personalized learning plan, focused on what they want to learn and what area they want to grow in. We connect students to an internship that they're interested in. So we have over 220 community partners, ranging from vet offices to doctor's offices to artists, musicians, chefs, teachers, counselors. I could talk for 2 days about that, but 220 partners for a very small number of students, 150. So students have a wide array of spaces to get connected based on their interests. So there's like 25 kids in the space now, there will be 25 different internships around those interests. The last piece, well, we can move to the next one, thank you, Graham. We are families, so we say we don't enroll students, we enroll families. Families, you're here tonight and you're joining online because you know how important you are in this transition. Again, you're going to be welcome, embraced, and encouraged to connect in our building. I'm an assistant principal, my door is literally always open, and anytime a parent comes in, we make space and time to connect. A couple other things we talked about. Family meetings. I know most metro schools do a family meeting in the first semester. The second semester, we do one every quarter. And that's meant to celebrate student success, but also if students need that safety net, we're there to catch them before they maybe fall too far. The next piece is dealing with advisory. So students, every day in our building, you spend an hour in advisory. There are grades in advisory, there are assignments in advisory, and the whole focus of advisory is you, and helping you to become the best you can be. So as a ninth grader, we're helping you transition into our space, move from high school, or excuse me, from middle school to high school, and figure out what that looks like. We're talking about credits, we're talking about graduation, we're talking about GMS. So we're helping you navigate that sort of new terrain. 10th grade year, that shifts, and we move into something called Gateway Year, and 11th and 12th grade, the floodgates really open. We have senior capstone, dual enrollment, and you move into your senior institute. So advisory is really the heartbeat of our schools. We have over 220 schools in the U.S. Every one of them has an advisory, and there's about 300 schools internationally. So I should have maybe started with that, but Big Picture Nashville is one of the schools that belongs to Big Picture Learning, but we don't belong to Big Picture Learning. We are an extension of Big Picture Learning, and we are a metro school. So a lot of people will ask, are you a charter school? No. Are you a private school? No. All right, so we can move to the next one there, Graham. Okay, so internship. So freshmen, you come to our building from August to October. We go through something called the Lti Institute, which stands for Learning Through Internship Institute. So during that space and time, we're preparing you to navigate the adult world, because when you come back from fall break, so long as you complete that institute, you're going to be out in the real world working with adults, and you're going to have to sort of understand and be able to navigate the professional world. So after that is complete, you will have an opportunity to connect with a mentor in the city. All of our mentors are within Davidson County. They've all had a background check, and they all are supported by our advisors through bi-monthly check-ins. You can switch and change. So if you come in as a freshman, you want to be a teacher, you can do that. You don't dig it, you want to be an artist, that's fine. Don't dig the artistry anymore, you want to move into computers. We encourage exploration. You have to do that sort of quarter to quarter, but our goal is to help you kind of find that space where you want to connect and be successful. As I mentioned earlier, we have over 200 community partners, Vanderbilt, Oasis, the Cupcake Collection, St. Thomas, and so on. And then the last couple of pieces, academics. We have some similarities in that we do have dual enrollment. It's not quite on the level that early college offers, but junior and senior year students, you'll be able to take one course per semester for dual credit at either Nashville State or Tennessee Tech. We also do have and offer honors courses, AP courses. Project-based learning occurs through our electives, And 9 years running, we have a 100% graduation rate. Yeah, which is something we're really proud of. Next, last piece, and then I'll wrap it up. Okay, so our school culture is built on our mission statement, which is from our culture of kindness. We're pursuing our passions to college and beyond. So we expect kindness from students, from families, and you will receive that. I go by Mr. Gary, all of our teachers go by their first names, and that's intentional to build relationships with students. We understand that education is human work, and we know that relationships are essential to do that work. So if you feel that when you walk into our building, when you interact with our team and our students. The last thing, this information has all been shared with Ms. Howard, and if you're interested in need more, I'll be over there this evening, but you can also get this presentation with links and so on from Ms. Howard. All right, sorry, this is really blessing. So at our school, we don't require standard school attire. You only come to the building Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after fall break. You go to the internship on Tuesday and Thursday. We call Monday, Wednesday, Friday academic days, Tuesday and Thursday internship days. And then, like our friends at early college, we partner with you involved for all athletics. The only exception is Hillsborough is our football partner. And then we encourage and expect students to be leaders in our building. So we have over 20 student-led clubs and organizations, and we would love for that to grow. So if there's a club or organization you're interested in that's not happening, we have a process for students to create those. All right?
Thank you.
Very
We had a question.
Oh. Okay, we have a question. What are our school hours? So the doors open at 7:45. Students, we do not provide transportation to and from our school like Willisville would or maybe Hunter's Lane because we're not a zone school. So about half of our students ride the MTA bus and the other half their parents bring them. So the dismissal, if you ride MTA, you leave at 2:15. If you ride with your parents or drive yourself, you leave at 2:25. So in short, 7:45 to 2:25. Any other questions while we're, yeah?
So when they're out on like their internship day, do the parents drive them to wherever the site is that they're going to?
Great
And it's
question.
the same amount of time for each day?
Great question. So this young lady asked, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, what does that look like? Well, you have to do 5.5 hours, and you have that window of 8 to 3. So you can go in at 9 to 2:30 would be 5.5 hours. You have some flexibility, and yes, parents do provide transportation. And I was talking to some families earlier, and I mentioned to them, I know this is kind of far. We're located in West Nashville, but I live in Madison. It takes me about 20 minutes to get to work. I think the benefit of the internship is that transportation is an issue. You can look for an internship in your neighborhood or near your home so that you're only doing that 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week you're closer to home. So,
Like lunch when they're on internship, money or like?
yeah, it looks different for every internship site. So I would say in most places, students are going to be on their own during lunch, so they'll either bring it or eat near the facility or wherever they're interning. They do get a lot of freedom. They're in an adult world and they have to kind of navigate that freedom. But then in a space like if we had students interning at a middle school, say we do, then they may eat like teachers do here, you know, in the cafeteria or elsewhere. It just kind of differs between sites. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I heard some of your questions, but so I'll answer the first part and then I'll actually reset that again. You asked if we're a new school. So we've been in the district for 15 years. We were the first school,
Yes, please.
Okay, my bad. So we've been in the district since 2007, so this is year 15. We are a part of an organization called Big Picture Learning. There's about 200 schools in the U.S. and another couple hundred abroad. We were the first in the South, and we're leading the South as far as Big Picture Learning goes. So now there's probably 15 in the South. What was the other part of your question? So, because we're a metro school, we follow Dr. Battle's lead and Metro's lead. And so, we were virtual, just like Livingston and every other metro school, for a long time. When we had the opportunity to come back in March, our students' internships, we found that to be a really challenging space because of the state of the world. So last year, those internships remained virtual. Some of them turned into what we call passion projects, where students did independent learning guided by their advisors. But I'm thankful that since August of 2021, our internships have been in person. And so we're in person now, just like every other metro school. Yeah, there's not an online option, but here's what I'll tell you about transportation. Every kid gets a bus pass, free, and WeGo, or MTA, they now call themselves WeGo, but they do a great job of working with families and students to say, hey, we can show you the routes. And it's really as simple. If you have an iPhone, you can go to your map and you can put in your address and our school's address, and you can push the bus icon, and it'll give you the bus route. I help families with that all the time. And then WeGo also will ride with your student for the first few weeks of school. And the bus picks them up at our building. So it's right in front of the building. So we do things to try to help make that a little more feasible, understanding that can be challenging. And then I think you probably heard me mention about internships being closer to your home. And that helps sort of relieve that burden to some extent as well. But we can definitely talk further. I'll be here and I'll answer more questions later.
Yes, so everyone will have time to kind of mingle and talk to Mr. Hook or any of the other guests a little bit more at the end. So now, if technology will cooperate, we have Ms. Randy Stagg, who is an associate principal at Nashville School of the Arts. So she is going to be presenting virtually to us. And then for questions for her, we will have Mr. Spencer MC to her, correct?
All right, I hope you're live. You do need to unmute, or I need to unmute you. We'll figure this out together.
All right, is that good? Can you hear me? Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I am from Nashville School of the Arts. We are a 9th through 10th grade magnet school for the creative and performing arts. We have 9 conservatories. We have a music cluster that has choral music, band, orchestra, guitar, and piano. And then our visual and performing arts clusters, we have visual arts, theater arts, dance, and literary arts. So all of our students audition to get into our school. There is no academic requirement, but all of our students do participate in fairly rigorous academic classes as well as their arts classes. So our what we like to say about our students is that they are all scholars, individuals, and artists. Not necessarily in that order, but we're very proud of our kids and all the things that they accomplish. We have some nationally recognized alumni. We've had students who were finalists on America's Got Talent, American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance, America's Most Musical Family, and The Voice. We also have students who have performed with Beyonce, Lady A, Maren Morris, Loretta Lynn, JoJo Siwa, the Nashville Symphony, Nashville Ballet, Nashville Shakespeare Festival, Nashville Repertory Theater, and many more. One of the notable alumni that we have that you would probably recognize if anyone is a fan of the Netflix show Stranger Things, Natalia Dyer, who plays Nancy, is one of our rather recent graduates. She graduated about 9 years ago, so we're very proud of her as well. Our school was a reward school in 2019. We still would be if it wasn't for COVID, but that has kind of gone by the wayside as testing has not really been a thing, but we were very proud of that accomplishment. We have a consistent graduation rate around 98%, and we have the 3rd highest ACT scores and AP passing rates in the district, right behind the academic magnets. We offer 10 to 12 advanced placement courses each year. We also offer dual enrollment classes, and we have an honors track that we just started a few years ago that we believe is competitive with the academic magnet schools. Students can come in if they're used to or interested in honors classes, and they go through with a cohort and take honors academic courses in addition to their arts classes each year. Our daily schedule, we have 7 class periods and a personal learning time, PLT. Generally, students take 5 academic classes in 9th grade and 10th grade and 2 arts classes. And then usually in 11th and 12th grade, they'll have a little more wiggle room in their schedule to take additional arts courses if they wish. So most of the time, our freshmen start out with math, English, biology, lifetime wellness, and a world language, and then 2 arts classes. Something that students really love about our school is that we have no dress code. NSA students like to show off their individuality, and we love to see it. So our kids can dress as long as they meet our decency requirements. They can wear whatever they want to school. Our school hours are 8 to 3. We don't have Metro school buses available, but the city bus drops right in front of our building. So, and students do have free bus passes to use on the MTA system. Our auditions are coming up. Once the school choice window opens and you fill out an application online, you will be directed to sign up for the conservatory that you're interested in auditioning in, and then most of those are going to be virtual this year, although our band and I believe choir and theater also have an in-person component following COVID guidelines. So, but most of these are just going to be one-on-one virtual audition with the conservatory director. And one of the things that we like to make sure students know, because I know auditioning can sound kind of scary, our teachers really look for potential. So you don't have to be a professional level piano player to get into our piano conservatory. If you show an interest and an aptitude and some promise, then that's what we're looking for. So if you have an interest in the arts, if it's something that you're passionate about, any of those areas that I mentioned earlier, if you're a writer, if you enjoy journalism or creative writing, then think about our literary arts conservatory. It's fairly new, but we've had a published author and several poet laureates come out of that group, and we're very proud of them. Our dancers go on to do great things. And we've got some fantastic musicians as well, if music is your thing. So I have a PowerPoint that I will be glad to send to your counselors, and you can get more information that way, or I will stick around if you have individual questions for me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we don't have any questions online. Does anyone here have questions? You did an awesome job. Thank you so much, Randy. We don't have any questions here either, but we will make sure they know how to get a hold of you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Staggs. And that was some pretty cool technology there, guys. Congrats to Mr. Spencer for making that happen. If you can pull my PowerPoint back up, that would be awesome. So today, the optional school schools and school choice application window is officially open. Today is the kickoff day, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to have this event today. So you can start your application at any time. And all of this information, as well as the slides following, is directly from the NMPS website. But I'm also happy to send this out to you guys after today. But you can apply to a maximum of 7 schools and you will rank your school choice. The application is available online or you can download the hard copy. Mr. Spencer, in a second, I'm going to have you go to the seat availability chart. I think it opens in Edge. Go ahead and pop that up.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, I realize I'm still holding that up there. Hold on. Sorry, y'all.
So this shows, these are all of our NMPS high schools, and the ones in green are the ones with available seats, okay? So that means they have spots open that you can apply for. This is all directly off the website, so if you want to take a closer look at this later, you can. The ones that are red indicate that they are full at this time, and you cannot apply for those. And you can go back to my PowerPoint. But you can check the seat availability and make sure the school that you're interested in is available. All of the ones that were here tonight are available. And of course, Hunter's Lane is our zone school. The application deadline is February 11th, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. So if you're interested, make sure you apply and get that submitted by 4:30 p.m. on February 11th. There will be a random computerized selection that will fill the available seats at our optional schools. A couple of dates, let's go back really quick. A couple of dates I don't have on this slide. Monday, March 7th is when the results are available online. So you'll log right back in to the NMPS website, the school options page, and you can see it online. You can also contact the Family Information Center and they can tell you the results as well on that day. And then on Wednesday, March 9th, the acceptance letters and the waitlist letters will go out. So these schools will all have waitlists as well. If you get waitlisted, don't panic because a lot of times people don't accept their seat and a seat might open up later on. And that being said, you do have to accept your seat. So there is a paper version that you can send back, or you can also accept your seat online, all from the same page online. Okay. So as all of our schools mentioned, in most cases, transportation is not provided, but as Mr. Hook talked about, and also Ms. Stack, many kids utilize the public bus system, and there's more information about this on the webpage with the WeGo public transit. Or let the kids have their parents drive them until they're able to drive. So some schools do have special admissions requirements, so just pay attention to those that might. For example, like at NSA, you have to audition and be accepted. That would be a special entrance requirement. And go ahead, Mr. Spencer. So you will need your student ID number to apply. So that is your 190 number. I think most of you guys know it, but if you don't, just make sure we can help you figure that out here at school if you don't know it. And you'll also need either a parent guardian email or phone number to submit the application. And of course, everyone must be a Davidson County resident, which you are. And lastly, the best advice we can give to you is to just explore the various schools. Check out their website, check out their social media, see about doing a tour. So many of the schools schools do offer tours, either virtually or in person. And my best advice for that is just calling the school directly to inquire. Each school is kind of doing it differently due to the kind of COVID guidelines currently. Any questions about the school choice application process? In general, if I can't answer it, maybe one of our other counselors can. And if not, I'll give you time to mingle and talk to our guests. Any questions? Well, thank you guys so much for coming. It's been a great turnout, and we're really excited to have you here. Please take a few minutes to talk to these guests. They are a great source of information, but we are really excited to have you here.